season. They are deadlocked with Coastal Carolina in the middle of the Big South standings. They're part of a group stuck at fourth place together. Campbell is there and Gardner-Webb as well. All four teams at 5-4 in conference play right now. So a very important matchup for both squads here today. Let's start with the visiting UNC Asheville Bulldogs. They're led in here by Coach Brenda Mott-Kirkpatrick. She's in her second season, is a graduate of Wake Forest University. So we've got another pair of coaches tied together through Wake Forest. Of course, Coach Jada Williams coming from Wake Forest to become the head coach here at Coastal Carolina. Mott-Kirkpatrick struggled in her first season. This is a team that went 0-18 in conference play last year, but they've learned a lot from those lessons. It was a young squad, and they've come back stronger than most people anticipated, at least according to the preseason media and coaches polls. And they find themselves right there alongside the Chanticleers, who have surprised some people this season, deadlocked in fourth place as tonight's game marks the halfway point of the Big South Conference slate. Starters for UNC Asheville, Brittany Gwynn, the 5'7" junior out of High Point, North Carolina, will get the start. She started every game so far on the season for Coach Mott-Kirkpatrick. Leah Warmack, the forward, redshirt sophomore, 6'1" out of Cumberland, Maryland. She is their tallest player and is the biggest force rebounding the ball, averaging 5.8 rebounds per game, only scores 6.1 per game. Tiana Knuckles, 5'10" freshman out of Wendell, North Carolina. She'll be listed as guard. She can play the wing and can also post up down low. Knuckles right now scoring 9.2 points per season. This team spreads it out a lot of players averaging between 11 and 9 points per game, so they can score in a variety of ways. Paige Love, you heard Coach Williams talk about her. She is their leader in conference play. She's averaging 11.4 points per game on the season. On the regular season, 10.1 points per game, is making her 19th start. Has started every game so far. 5'8" sophomore out of North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. And then Shanice Jones, the junior guard, 5'2" out of Etowah, North Carolina, a product of Brevard High School. For the Chanticleers, no changes here. A.J. Jordan, Carson Sims getting the start at the guard positions along with Angelica Henry. Jordan will be on the wing. Henry will switch from the wing to the point guard position. Carson Sims will move to the point guard position quite regularly as well. Sims known to shoot the ball and light it up from the three-point line. Down on the post, Alex Puckett, the 6'1" senior out of Indianapolis, gets the start again, and Caitlin Connor will be in the middle, the 6'2" senior out of Ashland, Kentucky. The Bulldogs wearing the Black Road uniforms, trimmed out in royal blue, outlined in white. Coastal Carolina wearing the home whites, teal trim, outlined in black. Officials for today's game, Robert Webb, John Holmes, and Wayne Turn will be on the call. An important one here from the HTC Center. Opening tip is up. Connor wins it to Angelica Henry, and the Chanticleers quickly move the ball down the floor, shooting to our right to get things started. Sims will run the point guard position, hands it off to Henry. Asheville is in man-to-man defense to get things started in the early going. Ball's lobbed into the low blocks to Connor. Connor, spin move on the low post, turnaround move, going up for the layup. It was off the bottom of the backboard, but she traveled, so that'll be turnover number 1 on the game for the Chanticleers on their opening possession. Full court press. Coastal Carolina, they will press likely all game. It'll be intermittent from time to time, but they come out showing it. Asheville beats it relatively easily. Page on the left wing. Kicks it over to Brittany Gwynn, who drives the baseline. The runner's no good. Here comes Henry the opposite way in transition. Spots up from the free throw line and knocks it down. The senior puts Coastal up 2-0. Now Asheville giving Coastal a bit of their own medicine, running the other way, but a charging call will be called, and Coastal Carolina's bench is to their feet. Chanticleers will take over, and that's the first foul of the game at the 19:09 mark. That was Shanice Jones, who got behind the defense momentarily, but Caitlin Connor got back and stood her ground as Jones drove the lane. First foul of the game called. We're a minute in, and the Chanticleers lead by 2-0 over Asheville. Puckett, top of the key. She'll pull the trigger off the side of the rim. Connor's there by herself. Nobody got in front of her to box her out, and Connor, who's the tallest player on the floor, easily puts the layup up and in. It is 4-0 Coastal Carolina early on in the ball game. Gwynn dribbles the ball across the timeline, and Coastal will fall back into zone pressure. Henry's at the top of the key. Dished over to the left wing to Love. Love dribbles it to the top of the key. Bounce pass across the lane to Jones, who loses control momentarily but regathers it. Now down into the low post. Turnaround jumper off the backboard by Warmack is good. That was a nice move by the redshirt sophomore out of Cumberland, Maryland. And Asheville pulls within 2. 4-2, 18-14 to go. Puckett drives the lane, looks to kick it out. Connor's not there, so it nearly goes out of play, but A.J. Jordan saves it from being a turnover, hands it off to Henry, who will reset with 11 on the shot clock. Henry dribbles over to the left wing, defended by Love. Looking to get it down to the low block. Has Puckett at the top of the key. Penetrates. 2 to shoot. Connor from the free throw line off the back of the rim. Rebound is pulled down by Jones, and here come the Bulldogs the other way. Check that. Brittany Gwynn on the defensive board, and she'll run the point guard position. Coastal now in a man-to-man defense this time around. Carson Sims switches up. A.J. Jordan takes Love, who dishes it off. They work it around the perimeter to Jones. Three-point attempt from the left wing is off the iron. A.J. Jordan pulls down the board. Chanticleers are going to run with it. Jordan to Caitlin Connor, and Connor was out of control, but she gets bailed out there. The foul's going to be called against Leah Warmack, the blocking call. As she may have knocked Connor down, but it looked like Caitlin was a little bit not on her feet when she received the pass from A.J. Jordan. But that'll send Connor to the free throw line for the first free throws of the day. Caitlin Connor is 76% free throw shooter, and she starts off the night on a positive note from the charity stripe, knocking down her first attempt. Substitution into the game, Jeannie Buckner checks in. Taking a seat will be Tiana Knuckles. Buckner, a 6-foot junior out of Johns Island, South Carolina, just outside of Charleston, between Charleston and Kiowa, and she checks into the lineup. Full court pressure applied again after Connor hits the second free throw. 6-2, Coastal leads. Asheville does a nice job passing the ball around in the backcourt and beating the pressure. Love gets a high ball screen, comes off of it, dishes it down low. Back up top, they work it around the perimeter. Nice ball movement by the Bulldogs. Jones, A.J. Jordan is keeping Jones from going left, so Jones dishes it off. They get it to the interior to Leah Warmack, who's called for the traveling call. Warmack has the only bucket so far for the Bulldogs, but she's also committed a foul on a charging call and now a turnover. So not exactly the best start for the redshirt sophomore. Coastal controls, up by 4. Henry, top of the key. And a foul away from the ball is going to be called. Illegal use of the arms. I think they got it against A.J. Jordan. No, it's Alex Puckett. So Puckett gets called for using the forearm on a pick, creating some space illegally. That's her first personal and the team's first. Asheville with 2. 16:40 to play in the opening frame. Asheville gets the ball across the timeline again, this time with about 2 seconds left to spare, as Gwynn quickly brings it across, realizing she was short on time. Jones, they're going to force her to go right. She dishes off to Gwynn. Three-pointer, right wing, no good. A.J. Jordan on the rebound. Jordan wants to run with it. Here she comes down the right side lane. Dribbles into the lane to the left side. Pulls up for the fadeaway. That rattles in and out. Rebound is loose, out of play, and it last touched the Bulldogs. So Coastal will inbound from underneath their own hoop. 16-16 to play here in the opening frame. 6-2, Coastal Carolina leads. Inbound to Puckett. She loses control, then swats at it, trying to knock it over to her teammate Jordan, and ends up knocking it out of play. And so now Asheville will take back over. Turnover at midcourt. Henry steps into the lane and intercepts the pass. Here comes Angelica the other way. Baseline, kicks it over to Jordan. 12-footer, no good. Puckett's there for the offensive rebound. Her putback is no good, but she's fouled. Coastal Carolina showing a big advantage early on, rebounding the ball. We'll see if that continues. That could be a pivotal factor in tonight's game. Alex will be shooting free throws when we come back. Coastal leads 6-2 with 15:56 to go until halftime. You're listening to Coastal Carolina basketball on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
Visit Eggs Up Grill on Highway 501 near the Coastal Carolina campus. Eggs Up is your place for breakfast and lunch every day.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much does my discount double check save me?
About $150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance, find me money.
I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
See your local State Farm agent to help you with unexpected savings.
Welcome back to the HTC Center, Chanticleer Sports Network. I'm Aaron Marks here with you. Good Thursday night. Coastal Carolina taking on UNC Asheville in a pivotal matchup in the Big South Conference. Both teams are tied for 4th place. And we mark the halfway mark of the season tonight. Tonight is game number 10 of 20 in Big South Conference play. And so a very important one for the Chanticleers to protect their home floor and get a win over a team that is right now deadlocked with them for a spot that would mean a bye straight through to the quarterfinals of the VisitMyrtleBeach.com Big South Championship. These are the things we have to start keeping our eye on. Alex Puckett at the free throw line. First shot rattles in and out for the 78% free throw shooter. Second attempt is up, and that one's good. So Coastal leads 7-2. Asheville just 1 for 4 from the field early on. They've committed 3 turnovers. Coastal Carolina with 2 turnovers of their own. Asheville has struggled against this full court pressure, and now checking into the game for the Bulldogs is Jada Brayboy. She'll attempt a three-pointer from the left wing. That's off the mark, but the offensive rebound is there. The putback is no good by Jeannie Buckner, and here come the Chanticleers the other way. Asheville now 1 for 6 shooting on the game. Sims penetrates in, kicks it over to the right wing to Jordan. Jordan drives down to the baseline, goes blowing past the defender with a reverse layup, and it's good. That was pretty right there. It looked like there was no opening, and all of a sudden Jordan went racing to a spot that it didn't appear there was a lane, but she saw something very tight on the baseline, blows past 2 defenders, and Coastal leads 9-2 with 15:05 to play in the opening half. Brayboy, top of the key, dishes it over around the left wing of the perimeter. Love dribbles back to the top of the key, controls, goes right, now goes left. Brayboy, three-point attempts. That rattles in and out. Asheville really struggling from the field, and the rebound last touched the Bulldogs as both Angelica Henry and Paige Love went after it. And Love's hand was the last to hit it as it went out of play. So Coastal gets the ball up by 7. They beat the full court pressure that Asheville is now supplying, but here comes a trap pressure against Carson Sims. And they grab hold of the ball and tie it up to create a jump ball scenario in which Asheville has the possession arrow. Another substitution. Check that, Tiana Knuckles checking back into the game. And she's standing over there on the sideline, a little confusion with her and Buckner. It lets Buckner know, hey, you can go take a seat on the bench. I'm checking back in. So Asheville controls, has struggled from the field early. They're down 7. Working the ball around the top of the key. Jones dishes it around to the right wing to Knuckles. They get it back around the perimeter to the left wing. Brayboy controls. Driving the lane is Jones, and that little scoop shot is good. Fortunately for Jones, nobody was there to reject it. And that's the first bucket in a long time for the Bulldogs. And they make it a 9-4 game, and now Jordan gets the ball down on the baseline quickly to the other end. She got tied up underneath, got away from the tie-up, but then she walked with it. So 2 quick turnovers, one by way of possession arrow, the other by a traveling call by the Chants, giving Asheville an opportunity to claw back in. They're down by 5. Coastal leads 9-4, just over 14 minutes to play. Love on the left wing. Back to the top of the key to Brayboy, who's running the point guard position now. Brayboy dishes around to Jones, gets it down under the low block. Turnaround jumper there by KJ Weaver, who just checked in. 6'1 freshman out of Snellville, Georgia. Her jumper is a little too strong off the back of the iron. Coastal will control. Jordan drives the right side of the lane. The runner's blocked, but there's Henry to pick it up. Henry dishes off to Puckett, who throws it back up to midcourt to Sims, and the Chants will reset with Henry. 10 seconds to shoot. Henry drives into the lane. She'll break down the left side of the lane, finds a wide open Caitlin Connor as all the attention came over to Henry, and Caitlin lays it up and in. Connor having a good start so far here today. Caitlin with 4 points now. 2 from the free throw line. I thought she was at 6. No, she is at 6 points. I'm reading the wrong line. Caitlin Connor has 6 of the 11 points for Coastal Carolina. And now we've got a foul called against Coastal at the other end. Olivia Carlton. She's not even in the game. That's Caitlin Connor. That was the old foul that was up on the scoreboard. Caitlin Connor gets called for her first and the team's second. So Asheville will get a fresh shot clock and inbound underneath their own hoop. Still the same starting 5 in for the Chanticleers. Coach Jada Williams yet to turn to her bench. There's a short jumper by Jones, knocks it down, and Asheville pulls back within 5, 11-6. Just over 13 minutes to play. Jordan controls on the right wing. Now she'll drive down the lane. Spots up from 14 feet away. The fadeaway's no good, but Henry pulls down the offensive rebound. Coastal Carolina has been dominant on the offensive glass tonight, and Henry will be fouled as she was trying to scamper away from the defense and get back up top. Coastal Carolina 11-3, out-rebounding the Bulldogs. 5 of those 11 rebounds have been on the offensive end. So more offensive boards than Asheville has total rebounds. Carson Sims launches up a 3 from the right wing. It's no good, and here come the Bulldogs in transition. Taking it down the lane. The runner is missed. That was Jada Breboy, who did not dish it off, had an open teammate to the left, but decided to take it herself, couldn't connect. And then Coastal taking it the other way. Henry penetrates, tries to dish the no-look pass to Connor. Connor didn't know it was coming, and it goes out of play. Henry pats herself on the chest. That was my bad. 11-6. Coastal leads UNC Asheville. 12.5 minutes to play here in the opening half. Nice defense by Sims, not allowing Breboy to go where she wants to. Over to the right side of the lane, so she dishes it off. Asheville working the ball around. They get it down to the left corner to Brittany Gwynn, and we're going to have a whistle away from the ball against Asheville. We'll see who they get it against, but Coastal will take over. It's going to be the second personal called against Leah Warmack. And now Coach Mott Kirkpatrick is going to have to pull her out for a few minutes, maybe the rest of the first half. Checking in, seeing her first action, 5'11" sophomore out of Port Tobacco, Maryland, Tyler Smith into the lineup. So Coach Kirkpatrick going deep into her bench early on in the game, and now with 5 team fouls is having to start to think about fouls. There's another one called, a hand check, as Henry was trying to penetrate with it, and that will be the second against Jada Breboy. So she will take a seat. Paige Love, the team's leading scorer, was sitting on the bench. She'll check back in. Coastal Carolina still the same starting 5. They've gone the full first 8 minutes. This is rare. She usually goes to the bench early, but keeping with the starting 5 early on in the ballgame. Sims over to Puckett on the right wing. Puckett, jab step, decides to heave the ball back to the center court, top of center court for Angelica Henry, who nearly loses control but regains it. Henry now on the right wing, dribbles into the lane. They work it around to Sims. 3-pointer from the right wing, off the back of the iron, but A.J. Jordan makes it another offensive rebound and then gets called for a double dribble. You don't see that very often. A.J. can't believe it as they go to the benches, and that'll take us to our next media timeout. So Coastal Carolina is dominating on the boards. They're shooting slightly better than UNC Asheville, and they're forcing the Bulldogs into turnovers. It's just a 5-point lead, though, right now, 11-6 with 11:40 to play on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
I love Coastal so much, I dyed my
This Big South Network game is brought to you in part by Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done. Rent it now.
Did you know that glass is endlessly recyclable? These days, most glass bottles and jars produced in the United States now contain at least 25% recycled glass. And manufacturing recycled glass requires 75% less energy to produce than making it from new materials. So please put your glass where it belongs, in the recycling bin. Brought to you by Waste Management.
So I switched my car insurance to State Farm. I saved $480. You know what that is?
Yeah, don't say it.
You know what it is, right?
Yeah, don't.
It's a lot of dough.
Switch and you could save $480 with State Farm.
It's a lot of dough.
See if your local State Farm agent can save you a lot of dough.
Get to a better state. State Farm.
Asheville's 3. And in the upset of Liberty the other day, that is where UNC Asheville, Liberty dominated most of the game. Outscored Asheville in points in the paint, 42-24. Second chance points, 19-14. Bench points, 29-28. But Asheville hit 23 of 26 free throws. Liberty was 25 of 37, and Asheville only turned the ball over 7 times to Liberty's 17, and that was the difference in an overtime game that the Bulldogs won 83-80. First time they had beaten Liberty since the 2007 season. That jumper by the Bulldogs was off the mark. The rebound, they're going to say last touched Angelica Henry before it went out of play. So Asheville gets to reset. Wearing the road black uniforms, royal blue trim outlined in white, shooting to our left. Trailing Coastal by 5 here inside the HTC Center. Pivotal matchup in the Big South Conference standings. Love dishes the ball over to Shanice Jones. Jones spots up from 16 feet away, knocks it down, and it's a 3-point game. Coastal Carolina now up 11-8. Coastal's led throughout as they jumped out to a 2-0 or a 4-0 lead before Asheville scored. And Asheville trying to draw even for the first time. 10:50 to go. Sims dribbles up to the top of the perimeter. Hands off to Jordan, who takes it down the lane wide open. There was nobody to stop her. She switched to the right hand. I'm not sure why at the last moment, and it kind of threw her off. She misses the layup. Here come the Bulldogs the other way. There's a nice move down the lane by Tiana Knuckles. She sees an opening and goes streaking down the lane, lays it up and in. And now it's a 1-point game after Coastal Carolina jumped out to an early lead that was 9-2 at one point. It's an 8-2 run by the Bulldogs since then, 11-10, and Coach Jada Williams wants to talk with her team about it. She calls her first charge timeout. It'll be a 30, so we'll keep it right here. Coastal Carolina, neither team shooting the ball super well so far. Coastal 4 of 14 from the field for 28.6%. Asheville has hit their last couple shots to improve to 5 of 14 for 35%. Nobody's hit a three-pointer yet. The teams are combined 0 for 5. And Coastal Carolina winning the rebounding margin in a big way, but it doesn't matter at this point. It's just a 1-point lead. Sims dribbles the ball up through the pressure. She'll go all the way down the right side of the lane, takes it up, but her shot is off the lower part of the rim, and here come the Bulldogs the other way. Shanice Jones dribbles down the lane, kicks it out to Knuckles. Long two-pointer is good, and Asheville has now made it a 10-2 run here over the last few minutes, and they've got their first lead of the game, 12-11. Sims controls up near the Chanticleer logo around midcourt. Hands it off to Jordan. Jordan spots up from 17 feet away, off the rim. There's Henry with an offensive rebound. The putback, no good. Rebound is loose. It last touched Asheville going out of play, but they're able to save it. The throw down the floor to Jones is good, and Shanice Jones spots up from about 5 feet away before Carson Sims could make her move defensively. She knocks the shot down, and Asheville is red hot right now. 14-11 they lead, and Coach Jada Williams needs to call another timeout. My goodness. Quite a run here for UNC Asheville as we take a look back, all the way back when it was a 9-2 game, was at the 14:47 mark. So we're at exactly 5 minutes since that point, and Asheville's outscored Coastal 12-2. So Coach Williams trying to calm her team down and get them back into playing their game. They're still getting rebounds, but they're not turning them into points. Asheville will call off the full court pressure. Substitution checking in. Tacey Trammell, redshirt sophomore, 5'2", out of Robbinsville, North Carolina, into the lineup. She'll guard Carson Sims. Man-to-man defense implemented by the Bulldogs. Jordan on the low post. She's got a big size advantage over Trammell, and she's able to hit the runner over top of her. And Coastal, a much-needed bucket there, draws back within one, 14-13, 9:20 to play. Brittany Gwynn controls out near midcourt. Man-to-man defense for the Chanticleers. Megan Pittman has checked in for Caitlin Connors, so the first substitution of the game. Jordan intercepts the pass, did intercept the pass, but then lost control of it as she was trying to take off and run the other way. That's unfortunate. Jordan had a clean steal, but could not cleanly head the opposite direction, loses it out of play. And Asheville takes over, but they only got 9 seconds on the shot clock. I wonder if they know that. Love with the ball in the left wing. 5 seconds to shoot. She's out near midcourt. 2 seconds to shoot. Dishes it off to Trammell. She doesn't know about the shot clock, and it's a shot clock violation. And Coach Mott Kirkpatrick yelling at her team that Coastal Carolina never had possession, and they got to have a more heads-up notice of that. So they were not there mentally, realizing that they only had 10 seconds to shoot when they inbound it. And it's a turnover for the Chanticleers. Henry at the free throw line, gets a screen from Puckett, spots up from the elbow and knocks it down. And there's another much-needed jumper to put Coastal back up on top. It's a quick 4-0 run. The leading scorers, A.J. Jordan and Angelica Henry, contributing to put Coastal back up 15-14. 8.5 minutes to play in the first half. Asheville controls, working the ball around the perimeter. Gwynn, left wing, defended by Jordan. Down to Trammell on the low corner. Back to Gwynn, trying to get it to the low block. Does so successfully. Turnaround jumper is good by Tyler Smith, and Asheville retakes the lead. Back and forth we go now. 16-15. Asheville leads it. Puckett, top of the key, takes a look with an open shot. It's a two-pointer. Her foot was on the line. My goodness. But it gives Coastal the lead again, 17-16. Gwynn in transition. Quick shot from the elbow off the mark. Jordan pulls down the rebound. Calling out directions like a quarterback scrambling. Finds Alex Puckett wide open underneath the hoop. She lays it up and in. Credit the assist to AJ. And now Coach Kirkpatrick wants a timeout with 7:46 to play. That'll take us to our next media timeout. 19-16 here from the HTC Center. Both teams settling into this game. This is going to be fun the rest of the way. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Coastal Carolina basketball on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
This Big South Network game is brought to you in part by Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done. Rent it now. Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Visit MyrtleBeach.com. Come see what we're all about. And Hardee's. Eat like you mean it.
Did you know that glass is endlessly recyclable? These days, most glass bottles and jars produced in the United States now contain at least 25% recycled glass. And manufacturing recycled glass requires 75% less energy to produce than making it from new materials. So please put your glass where it belongs, in the recycling bin. Brought to you by Waste Management.
$7:46 to go in the opening frame, and both of these teams are starting to settle in after some poor shooting in the first 5 minutes. Asheville now shooting 44.4% from the field. Coastal now 38% from the field, getting some high percentage shots. As the points in the paint, Coastal Carolina, 12 of their 19 have come inside the paint. Asheville with 6. And this is a Bulldog squad that has been in just about every game they've played this year. It always comes down to the wire. Lost by 5 to High Point, beat Liberty by 3. The opposition, they're 8-10 on the season. The opposition has outscored them on the year by 2 points. That shows how tight things are. There's Carson Sims knocking the ball away. The pass was intended for Jeannie Buckner, but it's a turnover by Asheville, a steal for the Chanticleers. Pittman down low, spins around the defender, looks to hand it off to Angelica Henry. Her and Buckner both catch it at the same time, and that'll bring a whistle for a tie-up. Coastal Carolina with the possession arrow. Now Kayla Cook is going to check into the lineup. Carson Sims will take a seat, and Coastal Carolina controls. Pittman over to Cook, down low to Jordan. Jordan back up top to Henry. Thought about a shot, now she pulls the trigger off the front of the rim. Kayla Cook tries to get to the rebound, but Paige Love does a nice job boxing her out, and Asheville will control. Here come the Bulldogs sprinting the other way. Now they'll set up in the half court. Ball's handed off to Brittany Gwynn. Gwynn dribbles it to the free throw line, spots up. That's off the back of the iron, and Henry pulls down the board. Chanticleers head the other way. Henry, cross-court pass to Pittman. She launches up the three. That's off the back of the rim. Rebounded again by Paige Love. Nice job boxing out again by the leading scorer for the Bulldogs. Love at the other end of the floor penetrates, kick out to Gwynn. She's got nothing to work with. Hands it back to Love, who drives the left side of the lane, goes up with the left hand, and that's a good aggressive move there by the 5'8" sophomore out of North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. 19-18. Did you expect anything else here tonight? 6.5 minutes to go until halftime. Henry controls. Asheville now in zone pressure, trying to inhibit those points in the paint. Cook on the left wing thinks about launching it up. Dishes it off to Puckett, gets it back, and Kayla Cook knocks down her first field goal attempt, and it's the first three-pointer of the ball game for either squad. 22-18, Coastal Carolina leads. Cook had an opportunity to shoot, passed it up over to Puckett, and Puckett sent it right back to her. Said, go ahead and pull the trigger on it. There's some nice defense by Alex Puckett against KJ Weaver. Weaver's turnaround hook shot a little short, disturbed by Alex Puckett, and then the rebound was loose. Last touch by the Bulldogs. And Coach Kirkpatrick can't go much longer without getting Shanice Jones, who's had the hot hand, leading scorer for Asheville with 6 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Also has a rebound and an assist to go with it. She gets her back into the game. Coastal controls up by 4. Henry, right wing. Jordan, top of the key. Down to Kayla Cook on the low blocks. Cook goes around her defender, dishes it off to Pittman. The guards for Coastal are making some pretty moves with the ball, but the post players aren't expecting the ball to come to them. So they got to work a little more on the communication. Pittman wasn't ready for it, and the ball goes out of play. So that is turnover number 7 by the Chanticleers. 5.5 minutes to play. Coastal leading by 4. Asheville works the ball around the perimeter. Gwynn controls, dribbles it back up top to reset with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gwynn going against Jordan. Gets a high ball screen, drives the lane. The runner doesn't even hit the rim, but the rebound pulled down by Weaver. Nobody's there to defend her, and the putback is good. We got a 2-point game, 22-20. Puckett thinks about launching up a 3, and then she shuffles the feed. That has been a problem throughout the season, as she thought about launching it up and then decided to make her move down the lane and shuffles the pivot foot. She gets called for the travel, and that is turnover number 8. And Carson Sims will check back in. Angelica Henry will take a seat. Asheville looking to tie or take the lead. Zone pressure applied by the Chanticleers. 1-3-1 trap zone with Puckett at the top of the key. Carson Sims is down low. They might want to switch that up. Now we got a 3-second call against Asheville, as it looks like Jeannie Buckner parked herself underneath the hoop against that zone pressure, hoping that they would get the ball to her. And that is turnover number 6 for Asheville. They only turned the ball over 7 times all game against Liberty the other day. They've nearly matched that here in the first half. Cook penetrates, gets it to Pittman on the baseline. Pittman's shot partially blocked by Buckner's, no good, and the Bulldogs pull down the board. Here they come the other way. Love drives the left side of the lane, no good, but again, Weaver is there. Somebody's got to pick up Weaver. She gets a wide open rebound and lays it up untouched. 22-22 with 4:10 to go here in the opening half. And with that, Coach Williams is going to send Savannah Pippin in to stop KJ Weaver from getting all those easy rebounds and putbacks. Cook on the left wing, up top to Puckett, finds A.J. Jordan in the lane. Turnaround jumper off the back of the iron. Jordan's nearly automatic from that distance. And here come the Bulldogs the other way. Shanice Jones on the right wing decides to hold up, wait on her team, dishes off to Gwynn, and the Bulldogs will reset. 19 seconds on the shot clock, 3:44 on the game clock. Jones, left wing, dribbles it to the top of the key, dishes over to the left side. 3-point attempt by Buckner, too strong off the back of the iron. Jordan has another rebound for the Chants. Sims in transition, lobs it up. She'll be fouled. Shot was short because she was smacked in the arm. So Carson Sims will shoot free throws after this timeout. 3:31 to go. We are deadlocked at 22 apiece. Coastal Carolina and UNC Asheville on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much did my discount double check save me?
About 150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance, find me money.
I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
See your local State Farm agent to help you with unexpected savings.
Center, Coastal Carolina women's basketball coming to you on the Grand Strand, Fox Sports 1050, 101.9. Worldwide at GoCCUSports.com and on the Big South Sports Network presented by State Farm. I'm Aaron Marks here with you from the HTC Center. Ashton Leatherman, our studio producer, back in our Murrells Inlet studios at Fox Sports Radio. We got 3:31 to play here in the first half. And a game that Coastal led by as much as 7. Asheville led by as much as 3. Is all knotted up, 22 apiece. Coastal shooting 35% from the field, 9 of 26. Asheville has used the rebounding margin where they've been lacking, and they've started knocking down shots, 43%, and they're picking up rebounds. They're actually outscoring Coastal on second chance points despite being out-rebounded. That's frustrating. So Sims is at the line, knocks down the first attempt for the 67% free throw shooter, gives Coastal the lead. Second attempt off the back of the iron, so Coastal will still lead by 1, 23-22. Love pulls down the rebound. Paige Love has been all over the court tonight. She now has 3 rebounds to go with her 2 points, so she's not scoring a lot, but she's doing a nice job in some other aspects of the game. Penetrates in, and we've got a foul away from the ball against the Bulldogs. Again, using that arm to push away. They will get the call against Jeannie Buckner. And Asheville will apply full court pressure. Pippin has checked into the lineup. It's Pippin, Puckett, Kayla Cook, Carson Sims, and Angelica Henry on the court. Sims drives the baseline, reverse layup, doing her best A.J. Jordan impersonation. She can't complete the shot, but she was fouled. So that'll send Carson back to the line for her second trip. Asheville is one of the best free throw shooting teams in the conference, 76% as a team. But when Coastal Carolina only commits 2 fouls in the first half, none of them shooting, that's going to disable that strength right there as Carson knocks down her first attempt, 24-22 the lead. Second attempt, fourth of the game, rattles in and out. And 2 Bulldog players went at it, nearly knocked it away from each other. Love is able to secure her 4th rebound of the game. So it's a 2-point lead for Coastal, 24-22. Asheville controls. On the right wing with it is Knuckles. Dishes it off to Jones, who keeps it going over to the left side to Love. Love pulls into the lane. The floater is no good, but an offensive rebound is pulled down by Buckner, and the Bulldogs can reset. Shanice Jones out near midcourt, calls out a play, gets a high ball screen, drives down the right side of the lane. The runner is no good. It went down into the cylinder and popped out, but she is fouled. Thought it was going to be an opportunity for a 3-point play there. That was a good-looking shot, and somehow the way she spun the ball on the runner, coming in from the right side, it hit off the glass and the backside of the rim, and the spinning motion of the ball takes it out of the cylinder. So Jones will go to the line. First attempt, no problem. Shanice Jones on the season, a 72% free throw shooter. My goodness, all around this team, Leah Warmack, 92%. Jada Brayboy, 83%. Paige Love, 80%. That's fantastic from the free throw line. Jones, second attempt, gets it. You don't want to give this team too many opportunities at free shots. They knock them down. And they've tied the game back up 24-24, 2:32 to play here in the first half. Caitlin Connor and Angelica Henry check back into the lineup. Now Megan Pittman goes to the scorer's table. Henry on the elbow, goes down the right side of the lane. Pretty move by the senior there off the glass, and it's good. Coastal back up by 2 with 2:14 to go. And Henry gets her hand on a pass intended for Love, thought she could get to it before it went out of play. Thought about diving for it, but it goes out of bounds. Nice hustle there by Angelica. And now Megan Pittman will check back in. Savannah Pippin will take a seat. Asheville inbounds it. 20 seconds on the shot clock. 2:10 on the game clock. Man-to-man pressure from the Chanticleers. A.J. Jordan is defending Shanice Jones. Jones dishes it off to Gwynn. Three-point attempt misses everything. And now we've got a foul. I think this is going to be against Coastal. We'll see who they get it against. It should be on the floor, so it'll be simply inbounding, I believe. Yes, it will. And they get it against Connor. So of the few fouls Coastal's committed, Caitlin's got half of them. That's 2 against her. And now Coach Jada Williams pulls her out of the lineup, puts Kayla Cook back in, so Pittman will move to the post position alone with 4 guards on the floor. Gwynn inbounds it to Love, thinks about pulling the trigger, instead bounces it between the 2 defenders to Gwynn. The ball is kicked by Coastal as Love was trying to split the defense. And Asheville will inbound underneath the hoop once again. Gwynn slaps her left hand against the ball, starts the play, ends up lobbing it out near midcourt to Jones. Jones penetrates down the right side of the lane. The runner, no good. That ball kind of hung in the air for a moment, and Kayla Cook was able to pull a rebound away from a better position, Brittany Gwynn. Cook to the other end, penetrates, kicks out. Angelica, bang from the top of the key, and Henry gives Coastal a 5-point lead, 29-24, with 1:30 to go. That was executed beautifully inside and out. Look at Coach LaForce sitting across the way, bringing the signs to the game. I love it, Coach. He's having all kinds of fun, especially after that last play. Says he would have drawn it up the same way. Shanice Jones has a wide open look down the right side of the lane. Somehow she misses the runner. Pittman gets the rebound. Here comes Coastal the other way. Jordan over to Cook in transition. Cook drives the baseline. The shot is rejected, but at the same time she was fouled underneath by Tiana Knuckles. So Kayla Cook will go to the free throw line with 1:02 to play, and Coastal protecting a 5-point lead. On the season, Kayla a 66% free throw shooter. This is her first attempt of the night tonight. Knocks down the first attempt. Now has 4 points on the game to go with the three-pointer she hit earlier. And Coach Kirkpatrick is going to send in a quick substitution. Tyler Smith back into the lineup. Will check in for KJ Weaver. Also checking in is Jada Brayboy. Paige Love will take a seat. One more coming for Cook. Bend to the knees, lobs it up, and that is no good. Thought that was going to fall. It hit the front of the rim, the back of the rim, sat on the front of the rim, and fell off. And then we got a foul against Megan Pittman over the back, a shove on the defensive rebound, whatever you want to call it. It'll be her first and the team's 5th. Under a minute to go. Coastal Carolina leads Asheville by 6. Shanice Jones, right wing, dribbles to the top of the key, kicks it back to the right wing to Brayboy. Brayboy dribbles it up top. Carson Sims comes out to defender. Brayboy penetrates into the lane, kicks it out to the left wing to Knuckles, who works it around to Jones. She continues it around to Gwynn. Gwynn's baseline jumper, air ball, is caught by A.J. Jordan, who's going to run the other way. Tries to find Kayla Cook. She tried to thread the needle of defenders. It is knocked away by Gwynn, but out of play. And so Coastal Carolina will inbound on the baseline. 25 on the shot clock, 33 on the game clock. Coastal up 30-24. Pittman, top of the key, pulls the trigger, no good. She is normally automatic from there, but can't connect. Here comes Shanice Jones the other way. The double team comes out to meet her. Now Coastal bringing the trap everywhere they have a chance, and now there's bodies flying all over the place as Brayboy penetrated in. Carson Sims goes to the floor. Brayboy didn't really look like she was in control. We'll see who they get it against. And they call it against Carson Sims, as Sims wasn't set. If she was set in any way, might have had an opportunity to draw a charging foul. Instead, she's a little shaken up. Looks like she'll be fine, but Coach Williams will pull her out, puts Olivia Carlton in for the final 18 seconds. Inbound, quick three-pointer for Asheville. Not sure why they did that. It's off the mark, and Henry pulls down the rebound, so now Coastal can hold for the last shot. Henry tries to find Jordan with the threading of the needle. That is knocked away by the defense. Here comes Asheville the other way. Jones can't connect on the runner, and now a foul right before the buzzer. Did they get her in the act of shooting is what's going to be the important call here, as a couple of ill-advised plays by both teams. Asheville shoots a quick three when the shot clock is off. And that gives Coastal a chance to hold, but they don't. Henry takes off running to the other end, tries to thread it between two defenders. It's stolen away. And then at the other end, we're going to figure this out as the officials come together and make the call. There's no time left on the clock. They're going to call it against A.J. Jordan, and it is a shooting foul. My goodness, Tyler Smith was down low. Well, was it a shooting foul? This will be a 1-and-1. Let's see how they call it. And now a little bit of questions. Coach Kirkpatrick not happy. Coach Williams not happy. And now the officials are going to bring up the monitor and take a look at it. Game officials for tonight, Robert Webb, John Holmes, and Wayne Turn. They got to put some time back on the clock. It might only be a fraction of a second. And as they look at it, it will not go up on the video board, so we don't get a chance to see it. There's free throws coming. Still not sure if it's a 1-and-1 or 2 shots. They have not alerted us of what the call would be. So it's 30-24. Coastal Carolina leads, but there may be an opportunity for Asheville with nearly no time on the clock to make up a little ground. Taking a look at the free throw shooting percentage. As it's Tyler Smith at the line. Oh, there it is. Smith has attempted 1 free throw. That's why I'm having a hard time looking for her. I'm looking up top where the numbers are. 0 for 1 on the season. So has not had a lot of opportunities at the line. But she got the ball down underneath as time was running down, and it was just a mad scramble. It's unfortunate they get a foul there because you got time running out. The players are all scrambling to try to get the ball. It was a loose shot. It ended up in the hands of Smith. And the officials are still taking a look at this. Now they pull the headset off. And it looks like it's 2 shots that they're signaling over to Kirkpatrick, and we'll see how much time they put back up on the clock. It's not going to be much, whatever it is. See if it's enough time where if Coastal inbounds, 0.4 of a second. That's not even enough time to catch and shoot. So 2 shots are coming after that little ordeal. Oh, is it a 1-and-1? It is a 1-and-1. Okay, I thought they had signaled 2 shots to Kirkpatrick. So the foul was on the floor, but it was the 17th foul. So the 1-and-1. Smith launches it up. It is good. Wow, hit off the back of the rim. Looked like it might fall off, but fell down the cylinder. And that makes it a 30-25 game with 1 more coming. Smith's second attempt, 3rd attempt of the season is no good, and as soon as the ball hits the hand of Kayla Cook, the buzzer will sound. So that is how the first half comes to a close. Back and forth we went. Coastal Carolina ends the first half on a 6-1 run, breaking a tie game, and they lead by 5, 30-24. HTC halftime report coming up next. We'll take a look at the first half stats and get a Big South roundup for the women's basketball side of things in the Big South Conference from Matt Hogue after this local timeout. You're listening to Coastal Carolina basketball on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
This Big South Network game is brought to you in part by Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done. Rent it now. Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Visit MyrtleBeach.com. Come see what we're all about. And Hardee's. Eat like you mean it.
These buns aren't baking in a factory or at a McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's. There's only one place to get them. Introducing Fresh Baked Buns. Baked fresh in restaurant. Served on third-pound thick burgers with 100% Black Angus beef. Only at Hardee's.
There's a place where past vacation memories are talked about and shared for a lifetime, where new experiences never disappoint, and where the only thing better than visiting is coming back again. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Exciting attractions for every member of the family. 60 miles of picture-perfect beach line will take your breath away, but leave your wallet happy. Affordability meets fun in Myrtle Beach, because you shouldn't have to sacrifice on vacation. Take a walk to remember down our nationally acclaimed boardwalk and breathe the ocean's salty mist. Experience fun-filled water activities, oceanfront amusement rides, and golf courses that truly inspire. Immerse yourself in world-class entertainment, amazing variety, exceptional value. From coastal cuisine to true southern cooking, indulge every appetite with award-winning dining and the freshest seafood the coast has to offer. Visit Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Enjoy so much more for so much less, and leave with memories to last a lifetime.
Hopefully, you already recycle your newspapers. More than 73% of newspapers in the U.S. are recycled. But did you know that the newspaper you read today can be recycled up to 7 times? They can become cereal boxes, egg cartons, and even new newspapers. So put your papers where they belong, in the recycling bin. Brought to you by Waste Management.
Carson Sims. I do have a hidden talent that's kind of different. I kicked extra points for the football team in high school.
Just extra points because I didn't want to get hit. Favorite dessert is my roommate and teammate Olivia's cake balls. Something I hate doing is taking out the trash. If I was a crayon, I would be royal blue. My favorite holiday is my birthday. The craziest food I've ever eaten is frog legs. Food I will not eat is coconut. Favorite Olympic sport to watch is triple jump and long jump. The event I would like to see in the future is us winning the Big South Championship. Favorite flavor of chicken wing sauce is definitely teriyaki. My favorite late night snack, we'll go with ice cream. There's so many. My favorite movie is Love and Basketball.
My favorite meal to cook is pasta, any kind of pasta. My favorite Looney Tune is Bugs Bunny. My favorite holiday is Christmas. My favorite late night snack is popcorn. The first sporting event I went to was the Colts-Packers game. My biggest fear is spiders. My favorite flavor of chicken wing sauce is sweet barbecue. A food I will not eat is peanut butter. If I could witness an event, it'd probably be the Winter Olympics. I hate doing homework. The person that will make $1 million first is AJ. My celebrity crush is Ryan Reynolds. When I go to the beach, I play in the water and play cornhole. If I was a crayon, I'd be orange.
If I was a crayon, I would be the color blue. If I could witness any event, it would be watching Michael Jackson tour. My celebrity crush is LeBron James. My favorite Olympic sport to watch would have to be track. I would make $1 million first. My favorite dessert is cake. Something I hate doing would have to be laundry. My favorite chicken wing sauce is honey barbecue. My favorite meal to cook is pasta with chicken and garlic bread. My favorite holiday would have to be Thanksgiving. My favorite movie is anything that makes me laugh. The scariest thing I ever done was get on a roller coaster. My favorite late night snack would just have to be crackers. My biggest fear is snakes. The craziest food I've ever eaten is squid. My favorite sport to play besides basketball is soccer. When I grow up, I want to be happy and successful.
My favorite late night snack is cookie dough ice cream. The first sporting event I remember going to was a women's basketball game at Marshall University. My biggest fear is snakes. My favorite sport to play besides basketball would be soccer, even though I'm not very good. But favorite Looney Tune is Bugs Bunny. The first person to make $1 million would probably be Russa. My favorite Olympic sport to watch is water polo. If I was a crayon, I would be light blue. Favorite movie is Jerry Maguire. The scariest thing I've ever done in high school, me and my friends, we went to this haunted house. And it wasn't like a setup. It was like just out in the middle of nowhere. And we ended up seeing ghosts. I swear it was the scariest thing ever.
Get social with the Big South. Join our always growing network of fans on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Connect with us through BigSouthSports.com and be part of the discussion now. Follow, watch, like, and share with the Big South Conference. Fans, be sure to visit BigSouthSports.com and check out the league's online store with the best variety of Big South merchandise anywhere. Gear up with officially licensed apparel from all Big South schools. Watch for new products and even order gift certificates. All online at BigSouthSports.com. Big South fans, join the fun and plan your spring break trip to support your team in beautiful Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for the visitmyrtlebeach.com Big South Basketball Championships. Men's and women's games will be played March 4th through 9th. Contact your Big South Schools ticket office for more information, and we'll see you at the beach.
You'll find them inside each huddle, on every sideline, in every classroom, on each campus, from our neighborhoods to the corner office. Student athletes from the Big South Conference, serving in roles they've trained for all their lives. Leaders. The Big South Conference, developing leaders through athletics. Learn more at BigSouthSports.com.
Seventh, maybe even eighth place in the conference. So this is a very important second half of action for both teams, and even more important for Coastal, because you got to protect your home turf every time you take the floor here at the HTC Center. Taking a look at the CMB scoreboard, Winthrop, who is tied atop the Big South standings with Liberty, both of them at 7-2 in conference play. They lead Campbell by 5 with 3:58 to go in the first half, 30-25. High Point up 10 on Radford, 31-21, 3:53 to go in the first half. And Gardner-Webb and Charleston Southern are in a close one at halftime. Charleston Southern leads the Running Bulldogs 25-23. Longwood against Liberty. That's a game on ESPN3 tonight. Liberty leads Longwood 26-15 with 6:23 to go in the opening frame. We're about ready to get the second half of action started. I'm Aaron Marks. Thank you so much for joining us here locally on the Grand Strand on Fox Sports 1050, 101.9, and via the Big South Sports Network presented by State Farm. Asheville with a quick interior pass down low and a quick jumper for Leah Warmack. Warmack spending some time on the bench in foul trouble, makes her presence known quickly, and then I'm not even sure what happened. As I was looking the other way down at my stat sheet, I think Alex Puckett on the inbound stepped over the line. So there is a rare error you see out of any team. And fortunately, Coastal doesn't get burned by it, as the runner by Love is missed. Henry takes it to the other end and then has to hold things up. Dishes over to Jordan, takes her time spotting up, and you give her that much time and open look, she's going to knock it down every time. A.J. Jordan pushes Coastal lead back out to 5, 32-27. And now we've got a foul away from the ball. They might have been turning the ball over anyway at the same time, as Sims was holding on to it when the whistle was blown. It's going to be called against Brittany Gwynn. That's her second and Asheville's first here in the second half. So 19:20 to go in the game. Coastal leads 32-27. Pittman on the elbow. Now steps into the free throw line. Hands off to Henry. Henry penetrates the right side of the lane. Spots up the fadeaway from 8 feet away off the back of the iron. And Shanice Jones gets behind the defense like she always does. You can't let her do that. They find her at the other end, and she lays it up and in. Jones is going to take off and run with it right when the shot is put up. It may not help with rebounding the ball, but if Asheville gets the rebound, it sure creates a good opportunity at the other end of the floor. And Jones is the first player to double figures here tonight with 10. Now the third personal is going to be called against Leah Warmack, the 6'1" redshirt sophomore. Only tall post player on this Asheville squad, and looks back at Coach Kirkpatrick, who basically tells her she has got to be careful. Can't afford to take her out. Puckett's first free throw attempt, no good, rattles in and out. So Coastal has struggled a little bit from the line after a perfect performance against Charleston Southern the other day. Puckett knocks down that free throw. And Coastal now up by 4, 33-29. From the free throw line. We'll take a look at those numbers in just a moment. Got a foul called against Coastal Carolina as Asheville penetrated down low, and free throws are coming for Warmack. So this will be the first trip of the game for UNC Asheville to the free throw line. Did not take, well, check that. They got an attempt late. And now they get another one early on here in the second half with the 18:44 mark. And Warmack knocks down the first attempt. She is a 92% free throw shooter on the season. And knocks down the second. So Asheville is now 5 of 6. They got 2 late trips in the first half. Warmack will take a seat. KJ Weaver, the freshman, has done a nice job so far here tonight on the interior. Has some second chance points, some offensive rebounds to go with it as well. And she checks into the lineup. So after the 2 free throws, it's a 2-point game, 33-31. Puckett's going to drive the right side of the lane. Pretty little scoop shot being defended by Weaver. And Puckett lays it up and in. The lead is back to 4. Henry now applying full court pressure against Brittany Gwynn. Gwynn just gets past it, then dishes it off. Paige Love ends up with the ball at the top of the key, finds Gwynn wide open on the baseline, and there is a lid on the rim for Brittany Gwynn tonight. That one should have gone in. It rattled around the rim and popped out. She's 0 for 8. However, Asheville is able to get 2 offensive rebounds, and ultimately it's put back up and in by Tiana Knuckles. And so a blown opportunity there for Coastal, and Coach Jada Williams wants to talk about it. So that'll take us to our first media timeout. 18:02 to go. Coastal Carolina leads Asheville 35-33 on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
Visit Eggs Up. BigSouthSports.com is the source for all your conference information, news, results, and so much more. Plus video on the Big South Network presented by State Farm. Now with all streamed events free and available on your mobile devices. While you visit the site, register for the Big South Sweepstakes and other great prizes. All this and more at BigSouthSports.com.
To a good start here in the second half. They lead Coastal 8-5 in the half. They've drawn back to within 2, 35-33. Coastal Carolina leads with 18:02 to play. And we got to keep our eye on that number 70. Coastal Carolina, their winning percentage improves dramatically when they hit the 70-point mark and above. That's something that Coach Jada Williams has stressed. And with 18 minutes to go, they are halfway there. So we'll see if they can get on a run here. Henry controls. Ball was inbounded at midcourt. Gets it to Puckett. Free throw line. Dishes off to Kayla Cook, who just checked in. Cook into the lane. Spots up from about 4 feet away. That's an easy jumper for Cook. Knocks it down, and it is a 4-point lead again, 37-33. Full court pressure is beaten by Jada Brayboy. She's checked back into the lineup for Coach Kirkpatrick. Brayboy gets it over to Paige Love on the left wing. Love penetrates into the lane, spots up from 14 feet away. That rattles around the rim. Rebound is loose. Puckett comes up with it for the Chanticleers as Shanice Jones had a hand on it. But Coastal comes out of there with possession, hands it off to Henry. And she will dribble the ball out on the C of Coastal Carolina's midcourt logo. A.J. Jordan sets up a high ball screen at the elbow. She passes over to Puckett, who drives the baseline, kicks across to Pittman. Three-pointer off the back of the rim. Rebound is pulled down by the 5'2" Jones. Here come the Bulldogs the other way. Brayboy spots up in transition. Shot is off the mark. A.J. Jordan pulls down the rebound. She's knocked down hard to the floor by K.J. Weaver. And for A.J. Jordan, she now has exceeded 10 rebounds on the game, exceeded the double-digit mark, I meant to say there, with 10 boards. She's got 6 points to go with it. And for Weaver, that's her second personal, team's third. So the Chanticleers will dribble the ball up, leading by 4, 37-33. Henry, left wing, dishes it back up top to Jordan. Jordan trying to find Pittman down low. Not sure what happened there as Pittman got twisted up, turned around a bit, and tried to reach up for the ball. Kind of torquing her body, and that wasn't going to work at all. It went right through her hands and out of play. So that'll be turnover number 7. Now check that, number 11 on the game for Coastal. 11 for the Chanticleers, 8 for the Bulldogs. And Asheville controls. Shooting to our right, wearing the road black uniforms, royal blue trim outlined in white. Weaver in the lane, turnaround jumper from about 5 feet. Too strong off the back of the iron. Jordan has her 11th rebound of the game. Jordan takes it to the other end, penetrates into the lane, kicks it over to Pittman. Pittman thinks about launching it up, but nice defense applied there by Tiana Knuckles, not letting her have an open look at it. Puckett down on the low block, receives the pass from Cook. Turnaround jumper off the backboard, no good. But Pittman knocks the rebound to Angelica Henry, who's wide open. Henry's putback is in, and the Chants are up by 6, 39-33 with 16 minutes to play in the ballgame. Jada Brayboy running the point guard position. 1-3-1 zone defense. Here comes the trap over on Jones. She dishes it back up to Brayboy. Brayboy penetrates in. Trap converges on her. Loses control momentarily. Is able to dish it off. A three-pointer is launched up by Tiana Knuckles, and that doesn't touch anything. Sails past the rim, the backboard, and out of play. And Coastal will control coming out of this media timeout. 15:42 to go. Chanticleers moving into possession, but trying to put a stranglehold on this game. They've got the ball and lead by 6, 39-33. You're listening to Coastal Carolina basketball on the Chanticleers Sports Network.
This Big South Network game is brought to you in part by Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done. Rent it now. Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Visit MyrtleBeach.com. Come see what we're all about. And Hardee's. Eat like you mean it.
Did you know that glass is endlessly recyclable? These days, most glass bottles and jars produced in the United States now contain at least 25% recycled glass. And manufacturing recycled glass requires 75% less energy to produce than making it from new materials. So please put your glass where it belongs, in the recycling bin. Brought to you by Waste Management.
Welcome back inside the HTC Center, Chanticleer Sports Network, Big South Network, presented by State Farm. 15:42 to play here in the ball game. Coastal Carolina has not allowed Asheville to hit a field goal since the 18:05 mark. So going on about 2.5 minutes now, and Coastal Carolina has built their lead to 6, 39-33. It was 2 minutes ago, and they've got the ball. Full court press. It's a light press. They kind of back off a little bit as Angelica Henry dribbles the ball up the floor. Hands it off to Jordan, who gets it back to Henry. They play a game of catch on the perimeter. Jordan dribbles over to the left wing. Looking for somewhere to go, picks up her dribble, launches it over to Jordan, who finds Cook, keeps it going to Jordan, but it's out of the reach of her hand. She chases it down before it goes out of play. 5 seconds to shoot. Cook penetrates, jumper, no good. Puckett's there for the offensive rebound, but she short arms the putback. Can't believe it. Just has to smile at herself a little bit. As that comes down, it was knocked away and out of play by Jeannie Buckner. So Coastal gets another shot at it. As Puckett missed the short-range layup. Cook, three-pointer, right wing, off the iron, and Buckner is able to secure that rebound for the Bulldogs. And here comes UNC Asheville the other way. Nice job by Angelica Henry. Now she steals it away again against Brayboy. Takes it up for the layup. She'll be fouled hard to the floor. And Coach Williams thought maybe there should have been an over and back against Brayboy as Henry reached in and knocked the ball away. Brayboy had to step 1 foot into the backcourt. They don't call that, but I think Brayboy maybe felt like she got away with one. Wasn't really paying attention, and Henry steals it away again and takes it to the other end. First free throw is up and good. Henry now with 12 points scored, has 9 rebounds, 2 steals, and 3 assists. So putting together another fantastic performance. Lead is 7. Second attempt is short. So Coastal Carolina is now 8 of 14 from the free throw line. Not quite the performance they had the other night. And they've matched their biggest lead of the game. Jones from the top of the key. That's no good, and we've got a whistle against Coastal. Not sure who that was against. It looked like if they were going to whistle it against anyone, it'd be Weaver, but the foul was committed against KJ Weaver. And they get it against Megan Pittman. That's her third, so Pittman will have to take a seat. Caitlin Connor is back into the lineup. So matching the biggest lead of the game for Coastal, 7 points, 40-33, 14:44 to go. Love, top of the key. 2-3 zone applied by the Chanticleers. They keep switching out from a 1-3-1, 2-3, and occasionally they'll come out with man. Trying to keep Asheville guessing. Weaver puts a nice move on Connor, goes up and under her. Connor gets called for the foul, but Weaver can't complete the play. Misses the layup, so she'll go to the line to shoot 2. And they're actually going to get Angelica Henry on the foul. That's fortunate for Connor. That's Henry's first and the team's third. And Weaver will go to the free throw line. First attempt is up and good. Weaver on the season a 72% free throw shooter, now 16 of 22 from the line. Second attempt, lobs that high into the air and swishes down right in the middle of the cylinder. 40-35. Henry quickly to the other end of the floor, aggressively pushing the pace down, but the defense is waiting on her. Dishes off to Cook, wanted the ball back, clapping her hands. Cook didn't see her when she was open. Now she gets it to Henry at the top of the key. Henry, kind of a lazy pass to Jordan in the lane. It gets stolen away by Asheville. Ball's tied up momentarily. No jump ball called. Shanice Jones comes out of there with it. Penetrates, kicks it over to Gwynn on the left wing. Gwynn, no confidence at all at this point after starting 0 for 8 from the field. Dishes it off. Paige Love, defended by A.J. Jordan on the right wing. Looking to cross over and make a move. Jordan not giving anything, not impressed by the shimmy and shake back and forth. Here comes the high ball screen. Love will take advantage of that to shake free of Jordan. Misses the runner. Offensive rebound pulled down by Weaver. The putback is no good. We've got a foul on the floor. Let's see who they get it against, as there were bodies flying everywhere. And Coastal Carolina can't believe the call comes against them. It'll be on Caitlin Connor, her third. So Coach Williams, 2 post players, Megan Pittman and Caitlin Connor, that's anchor the post, both finding themselves in foul trouble. Quick inbound to Buckner, and her jumper, she takes a quick jumper, is fouled by A.J. Jordan. So Jeannie Buckner will go to the line. Coastal Carolina, after not committing a lot of fouls at all in the first half, has 5 team fouls. That's 2 against Jordan, and now Buckner back to the line. First attempt off the side of the rim. A rare miss for UNC Asheville from the free throw line. Buckner has not seen a lot of attempts on the season either. just 3 for 5 coming into the game, is able to knock down the second one. So Coastal leads by 4. Full court press applied by the Bulldogs. Coastal Carolina beats it pretty easily. Kayla Cook down in the right corner with it. Calls off the assistance provided by A.J. Jordan. Dribbles up top. Now she'll hand it off to Jordan. 15 seconds to shoot. Jordan calls out the play. Finds Angelica Henry in the lane. Henry going up for the shot. She'll be fouled. And UNC Asheville kind of with their arms out to the side, asking some questions there. There were 2 tall post players in Buckner and Weaver. I'm not sure Henry was going to get an open look at it, but she gets bailed out on the foul called that comes against Jeannie Buckner. So Angelica's first attempt is up, and she knocks it down. Carson Sims will check back into the game. A.J. Jordan will take a seat. So Henry, another attempt coming with a 5-point lead. Now it's 6. 42-36, 13:20 to play. Coastal Carolina leads. Full court zone pressure. Henry in the backcourt. Bouncing between the 2 players handling the ball. They are able to handle it relatively well. Get it across the timeline, and now Love sets up with it at the top of the key. Gets a high ball screen, drives down the left side of the lane against Connor, and they're going to get a 4th personal against Caitlin. She was backpedaling out of control and just took a swat at Paige Love to try to block the shot, and she got her on the arm, so that'll send Love to the free throw line. A fantastic free throw shooter, 80% on the season, making her first trip here tonight. And a miss. Can't connect there. 42-36. The score remains. Megan Pittman now checks back in playing with 3 personals. Caitlin Connor has to take a seat. So Love will get another crack at it. Lobs it up, and it's good. Back to a 5-point game. 42-37. 13 minutes to play. Puckett, top of the key, launches up a 3. Off the front of the rim, it's no good. It bounces on the rim a couple times and comes off of it. Paige Love pulls down the rebound, and Asheville's got numbers, 3-on-1. Love will keep it herself to the hole, and it's up and good. UNC Asheville pulls within 3, 42-39. And after Paige Love got off to a quiet start, she's now making her presence known in the second half. Has 5 quick points to get Asheville back within 3, 42-39. Cook takes the handoff from Puckett, drives down the lane, can't get a good look up at it, lobs it up in the air, but that shot was blocked by KJ Weaver. The ball just went straight up in the air and came back down. Weaver catches it, and here come the Bulldogs the other way. Gwynn on the right wing, trying to get it to Weaver down low. Nice defense by Pittman, inhibiting the pass. They work it around the perimeter. Paige Love drives the baseline and lays it up off the glass. Love now with 7, and it is a 1-point game with 12 minutes to go. 42-41. Now Henry's going to drive the lane. She gets shoved by Paige Love to the floor, bringing a rise out of the crowd, and that'll send Angelica Henry to the free throw line coming out of this timeout. 42-41, 11:58 to play. It is going to be close all throughout here in a big-time Big South matchup, a fight to stay in 4th place and finish the first half of the season above 500. You're listening to Coastal Carolina basketball on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much did my discount double check save me?
About $150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance, find me money.
I got you $1. Oh, you almost had it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
See your local State Farm agent to help you with unexpected savings.
Much less.
Well, after Asheville struggled to score from the 18-minute mark to the 15.5-minute mark, it's now Coastal that's gone bone dry, but they're hitting free throws that are keeping them in the lead. Their last field goal came at the 16:07 mark, so we're at 4 minutes and 9 seconds, but Henry is making a trip back to the free throw line where she's 3 for 4 on the game. Coastal is 10 of 16. And that was the first personal called against Love, the 6th team foul against UNC Asheville, and Henry knocks down the first free throw attempt. So both teams now with 6 team fouls. Next one for each squad is going to put the other in the bonus. Henry knocks down the second, so she is now 5 of 6 on the game, and that puts Coastal's lead back to 3. And now here's some intense full court pressure applied by Sims and Henry. They get the ball to Paige Love, who dribbles it up the floor. The trap comes over against her. Overhead pass over into the lane, driving the lane up with the right hand. No good for Knuckles, but an offensive board for Gwynn. And Brittany Gwynn finally breaks through and hits a shot. The putback is good, and it's back to a 1-point game. Henry, nice look to Alex Puckett streaking down the lane after she drew the double team and picked up her dribble. And Puckett lays it up with the finger roll. 46-43. Knuckles finds Weaver down on the baseline. Weaver, short jumper off the back of the iron, no good. And Coastal pulls down the board. Here comes Henry the other way with it. Henry on the left wing penetrates into the lane, dishes out to Puckett as Weaver was there, stopping her from penetrating into the lane. Puckett drives, loses control. They're going to say last touch Asheville out of play, and Coastal will retain possession. Weaver's going to check out of the game. Leah Warmack back in. Coach Kirkpatrick trying to get her going. She's been playing in foul trouble all night long. Jordan on the baseline with it. Draws a double team. Gets it to Puckett. Overhead pass across the floor to Henry. Spots up from the left wing and knocks down the three-pointer. That'll bring Coastal Carolina's bench to their feet. And the Chants, just like that, are back up by 6, 49-43. Trap pressure applied by the Chanticleers. Here it comes over in front of the Asheville bench by Sims and Jordan. Love gets rid of it to Gwynn out near midcourt. Now Gwynn penetrates in at the elbow, dishes out to Shanice Jones. Three-pointer is too strong, and then we've got an over-the-back grabbing call. I'm not sure what it is, but it's a foul against the Bulldogs called against Tiana Knuckles as Alex Puckett was trying to go up and get the rebound. And we will walk all the way to the other end of the floor. Puckett is shooting free throws. Alex is 2 for 4 so far from the free throw line here tonight. A 78% free throw shooter on the season. So one of the best shooters at the line for Coastal. Lobs up the first one and knocks it down. So now 3 of 5. And Coastal is back to a 7-point lead. This is the third time tonight they've been at a 7-point lead, their biggest of the night. Puckett dribbles the ball a couple times, launches it up, and again, she misses the second, but Jordan knocks the rebound to Henry. Back to Jordan on the baseline. She drives the line, has pressure, kicks it over to Pittman, and the baseline jumper is good. So when Alex Puckett struggles to knock down 2 in a row at the line, which she hasn't been able to do tonight, this time the Chants turn an offensive rebound into second chance points. Now Brittany Gwynn loses control of the ball, just kind of lost it right in front of Jordan, and Coastal takes control. AJ drives the lane. That shot is swatted away. Nice defense there by Leah Warmack, but out of play. And Coastal will inbound on the baseline, up by 9, 52-43. Megan Pittman, following that last jumper, now has 2 points. That was her first jumper of the game. Henry in the lane. Nice look to Alex Puckett underneath the hoop. Puckett's layup no good, but there's Henry on the offensive rebound. She is all over the floor tonight and dribbles it back up top to reset. 9 seconds to shoot. Alex didn't hit the rim. Henry has to go to work. Drives the lane. Up with the left hand. Will be fouled. Brittany Gwynn not able to contain her defensively. Gave her too much body. And Gwynn shaking her head, goes into the huddle. Angelica doing a fantastic job figuring out a way to get to the free throw line, where 5 of her 11 points have come tonight. Or check that, 5 of her 19 points. She has 11 rebounds. Outstanding. First attempt from the line is good. 6 of 7. Henry now with 20. And this is the player Coach Jada Williams was looking for to become more aggressive on the floor. And she is driving the lane hard. Missed free throw, but Pittman pulls down the offensive rebound. Dominant on the boards here in the second half, but Jordan's going to turn it over. She drove the lane, tried to bounce it over to Megan Pittman, and the pass really wasn't anywhere she could catch it. It goes out of play. So it's a 10-point lead, first double-digit lead of the game, 53-43. Paige Love nearly dribbles it out of bounds, but then she throws it into an interception in center court. Henry had her hands on it, but fortunately for Asheville, they're able to retain possession because Jeannie Buckner was able to grab control of the ball, and as soon as that happens, Coach Brenda Mott-Kirkpatrick calls a timeout, needs to get her players reoriented, as they are a mess right now, throwing the ball all over the floor, nearly dribbling it out of play. And it's allowed Coastal Carolina to put together a run here. 53-43 is the score. Chanticleer shooting 39% from the field, 18 of 46. Asheville 33%, 17 of 52. And the story tonight is the rebounds, where Coastal Carolina has 14 offensive rebounds, out-rebounding Asheville 37-33. And the Bulldogs will inbound with 20 to shoot, 9.5 to go on the game clock. Gwynn kicks it over to Brayboy on the left wing. Henry supplies pressure. Brayboy penetrates in. Jumper from 14 feet, no good, but the offensive rebound is pulled down by Leah Warmack, and she lays it up and in. So that pulls Asheville within 8, 53-45, just over 9 minutes to play. Angelica Henry running the point guard position where she's been outstanding tonight. Hands it off to Jordan, back to Henry on the right wing. Penetrates, no look pass to Puckett on the low block. The layup's no good, but that's because she was fouled. So Alex is going to go to the free throw line where she has hit the first one, missed the second one on 3 different occasions tonight. See if she can knock them both down this trip. That is the 4th personal against Buckner. So you got Buckner, one of the post players, standing at 6 foot, the junior, who's in foul trouble, real bad foul trouble. And you got Warmack playing with 3. And Buckner's got to check out. Checking back into the game is Tiana Knuckles. And Puckett missed the front end that time. Second attempt. That rattles in and out, but Pittman is able to chase down the rebound because Leah Warmack went sprinting under the hoop and the ball kind of popped out as it rattled the interior of the hoop, and Pittman's able to chase it down. So Coastal resets. A.J. Jordan penetrates. Jumper from 10 feet away. That rattles in and out, but Puckett is there to grab the rebound that Warmack couldn't handle. It popped out of her hands to Alex, and the layup is good. 8:30 to go, 55-45. Coastal leads UNC Asheville. Now a traveling call against Asheville, and you know what might have thrown her off is it was called against Tiana Knuckles. The board over on the scorer's table, it looked like it turned off. It just went black for a moment, which you rarely see it do. And I know for me, it kind of messed up the lighting over there, and I think it messed Knuckles up too. Shuffled her feet a little bit when that happened. So it is a turnover, number 11 on the game for Asheville. Coastal controls. Jordan left wing. They're working the ball around the perimeter. Jordan attempts a long 2, knocks it down, and AJ puts Coastal up by 12, 57-45 with 8:05 to go in the game. And now Brayboy is defended tightly by Angelica Henry, and she forces Brayboy to throw the ball away, sails it over the head of the intended receiver. That was Shanice Jones. That's turnover number 12 by the Bulldogs, and that'll take us to our next media timeout. 8:02 to play. Coastal Carolina in full control right now. We'll see if they can keep their pedal on the floor when we come back. You're listening to Coastal Carolina basketball on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
This Big South Network game is brought to you in part by Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done. Rent it now. Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Visit MyrtleBeach.com. Come see what we're all about. And Hardee's. Eat like you mean it.
These buns aren't baking in a factory or at a McDonald's, Burger King, or Wendy's. There's only one place to get them. Introducing fresh baked buns. Baked fresh in restaurant. Served on third-pound thick burgers with 100% Black Angus beef. Only at Hardee's.
State Farm, I'm Aaron Marks. Good Thursday evening to you. Coastal Carolina and UNC Asheville. This game was 35-33 at the 18:05 mark. Coastal now leads 57-45, so taking over the last 10 minutes, outscoring Asheville by 10 over that span. And they have the ball right now. Sims finds Henry on the elbow, going to work on Love. Nice turnaround move. Oh my goodness, that went down into the cylinder and popped back out. Pretty move by Henry, who has been on point all night long for the Chanticleers. Angelica with 20 points and 11 boards. There's a missed jumper for the Bulldogs. Pittman pulls down the board, and here comes Henry. Coast to coast, takes it up for the layup. It's good, and she runs into the padding on the hoop. Out of bounds. She bounces off of it and heads back to play defense. 22 for Angelica. Love in trouble in the backcourt. Has the overhead pass across midcourt to Gwynn, and Asheville can set up in the half court, down by 14. 59-45, just over 7 minutes to play. Gwynn on the left wing, penetrates into the lane, kicks over to Jones. Three-pointer is no good. Asheville has not hit a three-pointer all night. They're now 0 for 10, and Angelica Henry, why not, has a rebound. 22 and 12 for the senior. Henry will now reset out near midcourt and slow things down for a few minutes for Coastal, who is in full control right now. 6:45 to play. They're up 59-45. Pittman is there on the elbow, waiting to see what Henry does. She's going to take it herself down the baseline. Kick out to Sims. Long two off the back of the iron. No good. Rebound is pulled down by Knuckles. And here come the Bulldogs the other way. We got a whistle for a timeout. Or no, it's not a timeout. It's a foul. It's called against Angelica Henry. She's got a look of confusion, as I kind of do as well. She fouled Tiana Knuckles, as Knuckles was dribbling the ball down the floor. So that'll send Knuckles to the free throw line for the 1-and-1. Kayla Cook checks in for Carson Sims. Knuckles, a 54% free throw shooter, 7 of 13 on the season. First trip tonight to the charity stripe. And she knocks it down. A couple of the Coastal players thought that she only had one more shot. Puckett went to take it out of bounds. Kayla Cook was running down the floor. One more free throw coming, so they all got to reset. All smiles around the free throw line right now for Coastal. Knuckles knocks down the second one. And that pulls the Bulldogs within 12, 59-47. And Asheville is going to apply the full court pressure. Here comes the trap, and Henry just spins away from it. Lobs the ball down the floor to Cook, who finds Pittman wide open underneath the hoop. That was way too easy. And it was all started by Angelica Henry. Unfortunately, you can't credit her with an assist. You know, hockey, they give 2 assists. That play there deserved 2 assists. 61-47. Over 6 minutes, just over 6 minutes to play. Jones penetrates, kicks it up top. Three-pointer from the top of the key is short, but the offensive rebound is pulled down by Love, and she'll reset. Love, defended by Jordan, not going to let her go left. She'll drive with the right hand. That shot is rejected by Megan Pittman. They call it as a jump ball, and the possession arrow belongs to the Chanticleers. 5:54 to play. Coastal Carolina up 61-47. And here comes the full court pressure again. The Coastal Carolina turned into points. Bounce pass into Pittman. Double team comes over. She needs help and gets it from Coach Jada Williams, who calls the timeout. Saw that her post player had nowhere to go with the ball. We'll keep it right here. Quick 30-second timeout. So Coastal will inbound in the backcourt.
This Big South Network game is brought to you in part by
61-47. Taking a
Rentals.
look at some of
Get it
the
done.
numbers.
Rent it
Angelica
now.
Henry leading all
Max.
scorers. She's
0
doubled up the
calories,
top scorers
maximum
other
Pepsi
than her.
taste.
22
Visit
points
Murphy.
and 12 rebounds.
Come see
Alex
what we're all
Puckett with
about.
13 points and
And
7 rebounds.
parties.
A.J.
Eat
Jordan
like
knocking
you
on the
mean
door
it.
for another double-double. She's got 11 boards, 8 points. She's allowed her teammates to do the majority of the scoring tonight. Connor with 6, Pittman with 4,
Did you
and
know
Kayla
that glass
Cook with
is
6. For the
endlessly
Bulldogs,
recyclable?
Tiana Knuckles
These
and
days,
Shanice
most
Jones
glass
with 10.
bottles and jars
And after
produced in the United
Jones had a
States now
hot
contain at
first
least
half shooting the ball,
25%
really has
recycled
struggled
glass.
ever since
And
about the
manufacturing
8-minute
recycled
mark of
glass
the first
requires
half. She's now just
75
4 of 12 from the field at 10. And the two of them leading the way. Leah Warmack, who has spent most of the game in foul trouble, with 8. Henry controls. Carries the ball across midcourt, defended by Love. Goes to work down the baseline, and she'll be fouled. Henry drawing the foul every time she penetrates. She knows that. And she's turning free throws into points. She's 6 of 8 from the free throw line, with 2 more coming because that was the 10th team foul against the Bulldogs. So Coastal will be in the double bonus the rest of the way. First attempt for Henry. Asheville thought it was a 1-and-1. Doesn't matter either way. She knocks it down. It is now a 15-point lead for Coastal. Spins the ball in her hands, launches it up, and it's good. Henry now with 24 on the night. What a performance. And Coastal Carolina leads by 16, 63-47. Jordan and Henry applying pressure in the backcourt. Love just bounces it across the timeline at the 10-second mark to Brittany Gwynn. Nice heads-up play there by Love. Dishes over to Jones, who works it around to Knuckles. Knuckles will work the baseline against Pittman. Throws it into the middle. That's where A.J. Jordan's waiting on it. Here comes Coastal the other way. Jordan penetrates. Hands off to Cook. Three-pointer is short off the side of the rim. Paige Love with the rebound. And there's Shanice Jones, who gets behind the defense. How do you let her continue to do that? Shanice Jones, I mean, there's times where she just kind of waits in the backcourt, especially with Coastal in transition there. She just waited. And then right when Asheville got the ball, they launched the ball down the floor, and Coach Kirkpatrick calls a quick timeout. 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it right here. 5 minutes to play. That draws Asheville within 14, 63-49, and Shanice Jones now establishing herself as the leading scorer for UNC Asheville tonight, 12 points. And I want to say 6 of them have come on those plays where she either holds up in the backcourt in transition or on a missed shot, she just takes off running the other way, regardless of who gets the rebound. That's done a couple things. That has allowed her to score 6 points, but even more so, it's allowed Coastal Carolina to play 5 against 4 and get a lot of second chance opportunities. So not something that is always advised. Henry drives the left side of the lane, does not get the foul call this time. Pittman had her hand on the rebound, but it's pulled away by Brittany Gwynn, and here come the Bulldogs the other way. Gwynn thinks about spotting up for a 3. She'll put it on the floor. Defended by A.J. Jordan, right wing. Passes up top. Braybort kicks it off to Knuckles. Knuckles penetrates the lane. The finger rolls off the front of the rim, but they're going to get a foul against Coastal. Who'd they get it against? It's against Pittman, and that is her 4th. So now Pittman and Caitlin Connor playing with 4. And Tiana Knuckles will go to the line to shoot 2. She was driving down the lane there. She's 2 for 2 from the line today. Make that 3 for 3. Improving her percentage in a big way. Came into the game 7 of 13 on the year. She's now 10 of 16. So one more coming. That's lobbed up there, and it's good. So a perfect 4 for 4 for Knuckles. And checking back in is Jeannie Buckner, 6-foot junior out of Johns Island, South Carolina. More full court press applied by Asheville, and it works. They steal the inbounds. Gwynn gets a hold of it, and then she's fouled by A.J. Jordan. The inbounds intended for Jordan was caught a piece of it by K.J. Weaver, and that left the ball just sitting there in the floor where it was picked up by Buckner. So now going to the line for the 1-and-1 is Gwynn. That was the 19th foul, the 3rd against A.J. 4:29 to play, 12-point game. And Gwynn knocks it down. So UNC Asheville trying to chip away at this lead by free throws. And what was a 16-point game is now at 11 with another one coming for Gwynn. Shot is up, and she knocks it down, and that'll allow Asheville to set up the full court press again. Paige Love checks back in for Jada Brayboy. So we've seen Coastal beat the pressure and create points. We've also seen Asheville pick up some steals and turn those into points. This time the inbound is received by Angelica Henry. Then the pressure lightens up as she dribbles the ball up the floor. And as Henry crosses the timeline, she'll now take her time. 4:15 to go, 10-point lead for Coastal. Henry drives down the right side of the lane. On the baseline, will take it back up top. Holds up 2 fingers to call out a play. 8 seconds to shoot. High ball screen from Pittman. She goes away from it. Spots up for 3. That is short, just off the rim. Jordan jumps out of play, and as she's got the ball in midair, calls for a timeout. Great play by A.J. Jordan there, and that'll take us to our final media timeout. 3:58 to go. Coastal Carolina controls after the timeout called airborne by A.J. You're listening to Coastal Carolina basketball on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
This Big South Network game is brought to you in part by Sunbelt Rentals. Get it done. Rent it now. Pepsi Max. 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Visit MyrtleBeach.com. Come see what we're all about. And Hardee's. Eat like you mean it.
Find your perfect color at your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams paint store or at SherwinWilliams.com.
About ready to come down the home stretch here from the HTC Center. 3:58 to go. Asheville trying to extend the game out, applying full court pressure, and at some point, not anytime soon, but at some point, if this lead is maintained, they'll start turning to fouls to extend the game. Coastal Carolina leads Asheville 63-53. And actually, A.J. Jordan did not get the timeout called. I thought they were granting her the timeout. They did not. So Asheville will inbound. Full court press applied by Coastal. In the backcourt, Gwynn to Buckner. Buckner looking for somewhere to go. Has to get it across. Just does. But then the ball's picked off by Jordan. Here comes Coastal the other way. A.J. Jordan hands the ball off to Henry. And we don't see this often out of Coastal, but they want to slow the game down. They want to eat up clock. They're up by 10 with 3.5 to play. And Carson Sims will bounce pass it to Henry on the elbow. Dishes over to Pittman. Three-pointer from the left wing. Bounces on the rim a couple times, but does not fall. Paige Love will take it the other way. Goes coast to coast with it. Runs into a player underneath. Who is that? That's Sims. And they're going to get Sims on the blocking call. And that'll send Love to the free throw line. This UNC Asheville squad is a very good free throw shooting team. On the season, they shoot 76%. And so far here tonight, they're 15 of 18 for 83%. And Love knocks down the first one. They will take free throws every time down the floor. That's how they beat Liberty. And it's how they've turned a 16-point game into a 9-point game with one more free throw coming. And Love knocks it down. Nearly all 8 of these points to make up the deficit have been from the free throw line. 63-58, just over 3 minutes to play. Coach Jada Williams holds up 2 fingers on the sideline, calling in the play. Henry dishes over to Jordan. Jordan on the baseline, kicks it back up top. Sims penetrates the right side of the lane. The runner is no good. It looked like it was going to fall off the glass, but sat on the rim. And here comes Asheville the other way. Gwynn in transition. Her runner is a little bit erratic off the top of the backboard, and Alex Puckett pulls it down. So now Coastal Carolina can chew up more clock. And Henry will do just that. 2:45 to go, 20 seconds. She can run off the shot clock, but she'll get to work quickly. This Coastal Carolina team just really only knows one speed, and that's fast. Henry, top of the key, lofts it up and knocks it down. Angelica now with 26 points for Coastal Carolina. And she is in the process of working on a career high. There's a steal by A.J. Jordan. She'll take it coast to coast, and she's got a double-double. Lays it up off the glass, and just like that, this Coastal team can score points so quickly on you, and they prove it right there. The lead is right back to 12. Then the trap pressure comes over on Love, and Coach Kirkpatrick has to call the timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout, so Asheville, no, they're going with a full, so we'll take it with them. Let's take a quick 60-second break. 2:12 to go. Coastal up by 12 on the Chanticleer Sports Network.
All right, guys, listen up. Before you step out into the night, I want you to designate a driver. Because beers on draft. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports. Visit your local Buffalo Forest.
Welcome back to the HTC Center, Chanticleer Sports Network. Coastal leading by 12, 67-55. And Angelica Henry is putting together a career night. She has matched her career high in rebounds of 12 in a game that she completed against College of Charleston last year, and she's 1 point away from her career high of 27. But the task at hand, get the win. UNC Asheville controls in the half court. They got an offensive rebound off a missed jumper. Knuckles, three-pointer from the left wing, no good. Pittman doesn't chase down the rebound, and Knuckles is able to get to it. Pittman thought someone else was going to get there, and Asheville can reset again. Love penetrates, kicks over to Knuckles on the left wing. Knuckles will drive the baseline. The runner is short, and this time Coastal Carolina does pull down the rebound. So they get 4 attempts at it, and Asheville, who is now 0 for 12 from the free throw line today, or not the free throw line, the three-point line, is not able to connect, and Coastal continues to lead. Henry finds Sims, the runner, no good from the right side of the lane. Paige Love pulls down the rebound. The double team comes. She gets the outlet pass to Knuckles. 1:10 to go. Asheville controls. Shanice Jones drives the lane. She'll hit the layup, and she'll be fouled. Shanice Jones, just like a bulldog out there, is very aggressive, will drive the lane hard. She now has 14 points. She's a perfect 2 for 2 from the line. They get the foul called against A.J. Jordan. That's her 4th. And Jones with the chance to complete the three-point play. Knocks down the free throw. So that makes it a 9-point game once again, 67-58. And K.J. Weaver will check back into the game to play defense. Leah Warmack, who is in some foul trouble, has 3, will take a seat. There is a touchdown pass down the floor from Henry to Sims, and Sims goes untouched in for the left-handed layup. Nice job there by Henry. Not sure if they'll credit her on the assist or not. They should, and that would be assist number 6 for her if they gave it to her. Sims did have to dribble a little bit down the floor, so we'll see how they score it. At the other end, Asheville draws another foul. They do give her the assist. And A.J. Jordan's going to foul out of the game as she fouled Paige Love trying to take it to the hoop. So Jordan leaves with 10 points and 11 boards on 5 of 14 shooting, 3 assists. And Love goes to the line, knocks down the first one, a chance to put points on the board with no time running. 53 seconds left, 10-point game, 69-59. We talked about that number of 70 for Coastal Carolina. That free throw rattles in and out. Sims pulls down the rebound, dishes it over to Henry, and Henry's going to be fouled. So Henry with a chance to clear Coastal's 70-point mark and earn herself a career high. We'll see if she can hit these. Coastal Carolina is 7-2, including 4-0 in Big South action when scoring 70 or more on the season. Their only defeats when scoring 70 or more were against Drake out in the holiday tournament in Seattle. They lost 90-74, and Furman, they lost 79-72. Coastal is 2-7 when they fail to hit 70. Angelica misses the first, misses the second, can't connect on either free throw attempt there, and Asheville controls, down by 10. Paige Love quickly to the other end, kicks it over to Gwynn. Gwynn to Love. They got to get a shot up here. Love dribbling around, now launches up a three and knocks it down. That's the first three-point attempt made by the UNC Asheville Bulldogs here tonight. They inbound it to Angelica Henry, and she'll be fouled and needs to hit the free throws this time. It's a 7-point game, 69-62 with 31 seconds remaining. So Angelica will make her trip back to the free throw line again, a rare 0 for 2 trip on the last trip. She is now 8 of 12 from the line. Coastal as a team is 16 of 28, just 57%. Henry's first attempt knocks it down. She's tied her career high in points. So it's an 8-point game. We got one more coming. Henry spins the ball in her hands, bend to the knees, lobs it up, and Angelica with a career-high 28, and that eclipses the 70-point mark for Coastal, 71-62. Love along the baseline to Shanice Jones, three-pointer, no good. Paige Love pulls down the rebound, lobs up a three, knocks it down. So Love is adding to her stats right now, but will it be enough with 18 seconds to play? Puckett on the inbound. She can run the floor. The foul is committed before Puckett can even get it in play, as she was looking for Kayla Cook, and Cook was grabbed a hold of. 71-65, 6-point game. And did they get it on Cook, or is it Henry who's going to the line? Looks like it's Henry. So she's got another chance to hit some free throws and further distance Asheville away. Knocks down the first one. She is at 29. And that is a season high for the team. Angelica and AJ had both been at 25 this year, and now Henry eclipses 30. That hasn't been done in quite some time. We'll take a look at the record books after the game is over with. Paige Love loses control of the ball. Henry picks it up, and Love has to foul her, and that is just about going to wrap things up from here tonight. 73-65, and Henry with 2 more free throws coming. And a chance to put this one out of reach, as if it isn't already. 8-point lead with 12.5 seconds to play. Henry's first attempt is up and rattles off the rim and in. The last time, got it right here, a Coastal Carolina player scored 30 or more was November 26th, 2006. All over it, Mr. Cody Bays. Coming over to show me. Saw I was already on top of it. I use my notes. Shanice Jones at the other end misses the runner. Puckett picks up the rebound, and that is how this one is going to come to a close. So Coastal Carolina is able to hold off UNC Asheville 75-65 after an outstanding performance by Angelica Henry, leading the way, 32 points to go with 12 rebounds in the game. That is the first time in 8 seasons that a Chanticleer has eclipsed the 30-point mark. And she sets certainly a career high for herself. And a nice win for Coastal as they used a run to build up a 10-point lead from the 18-minute mark to the 8-minute mark, and they never really looked back. It got as tight as 6, but then Coastal Carolina able to hit their free throws down the stretch. And that's how it ends. Coastal Carolina wraps up the first half of Big South Conference play at 6-4, and they remain in 4th place in the conference. And we're now joined by Coach Jada Williams, who comes over here to chat with us. And Coach, nice win, and again, impressive performance. Angelica was good the other night, and she was better tonight. That's the first time, I don't know if you know this yet or not, it's the first time a Coastal player has scored more than 30 since 2006.
Wow.
So,
good job, Angelica. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her. Jelly, you know, she's had a phenomenal week of practice and tried to execute the game plan. And, you know, I don't know if you guys heard me screaming over there, Jelly, we go as you go. So I need you up. And so she was up to the task. You know, she did a great job, and I'm proud of her.
Well, you and I have talked about her need to be more aggressive. You want her to be more aggressive, and she was very aggressive tonight, getting to the line a lot, penetrating into the lane, creating opportunities. And the more she does that, the better you guys are going to be. And if she's hitting your shots, you guys will be really dangerous.
Yeah, I'm proud of Jelly. You know, it's a total team effort. AJ didn't have her best outing of the night, but she had a pretty good one. You know, and so because of that, you know, AJ in the halftime, you know, told her, you know, Jelly, I need you. You know, I'm going to give you all the defense I have. Can you help carry us on offense? So I thought that was, you know, really noble of our leading scorer.
Talk about the stretch. This game was tight at the 18-minute mark. It was a 2-point game. Over the next 10 minutes, you built up a 10-point lead. Just talk about the ability to get out on a run and start to distance yourselves and clear enough distance to hold on for the win. Talk about that stretch.
Well, you know, Mock is a phenomenal coach, and so you never really want to be in a tight game with her because you know she's got something up her sleeve. But all credit to them. They gave us a great game. I think in that stretch, what we've been emphasizing in practice showed up. Stops and scores. You know, anyone that knows me knows my team loves the score part of it. And so I think they're now buying into the stop part of it.
All right, Coach, it's 2 in a row, and we'll head off to Winthrop on Saturday.
We will. Go Shots.
Thanks so much. Coach Jada Williams giving us a few minutes there. We're going to take a quick commercial timeout. After this local break, we'll get into the visitmyrtlebeach.com